Welcome to Deep Space 8K Highlights Special in English. Today the focus is on power to the people. My name is Sandra and I thought I'm going to take you on a slightly different tour, a different approach to the topic of how we as people have power in the face of AI, artificial intelligence. And now you might wonder, when I'm talking about AI systems and what we can do with them, why do I have such a huge, beautiful landscape behind me? Well, what you see here is one technology that I love showing here in Deep Space. It's called Gigapixel Photography. And with this technology we have here in Deep Space, we can show you very high resolution pictures, and that's what we have here. It's the Mont Blanc mountain range, and as such it would be a nice picture. It would be nothing too special about it, but I'm going to show you what is special. And for that I have to go behind the scenes, so to say. I have to go to the screen right here, where I can actually manipulate this picture and where I can zoom in and zoom out. And first of all, I'm going to zoom out to show you what I'm talking about, what gigapixel really means. So this picture held the world record for largest picture in the world for several years. And it's actually a little bit deceiving, the title, because it's not one single picture, not one shot, but rather 70,000 single pictures combined into one, all taken with a high-resolution camera. You know megapixel from your normal phone cameras, you have 8, 16, 32 megapixels even, but here we're talking gigapixels, so one step higher, 1024 bits more per image, so to say. And that means we can zoom in. You already saw the mountain range on the in the middle of the picture, but now I want to move a little bit to the side to show you what really can be done here in our 8K projection space, 8K meaning 8,000 pixels in one row. So we have a very high resolution, even if we zoom in. If you try that on your phone, I'm sure the photos will get blurred really quickly and you will not recognize so many details anymore. Not here. Here we can have a look at all the details we want. For example, let's zoom in a little bit more over here. I think I found a human in this picture. He's leaning away, we don't really see him, but I think it definitely is a person standing up there. And now we circle back to the topic of power to the people and AI systems. If you watched the previous segment, I talked quite a lot about facial recognition, and with the help of such gigapixel photography, facial recognition might even be easier than it was ever before. It has been around for several years, but it was not commercially used until recently. It's just for award-winning pictures like this and research that it was used mainly. But imagine an AI trained to recognize a face is put to analyze this segment of the picture. He will say, maybe there is no face, but if it's a well-trained AI, he will discover the one human walking around here. And if we zoom in, we can even get a close-up on his face. So with this technology, we can already say, okay, there's a man walking around. He probably likes the color red very much. He's wearing glasses, probably sunglasses. He has a beard. We can guess his approximate age. We know some facial features like the ears, the nose, for example. And we can even tell that he's married. We see the wedding ring, but the wife's nowhere to be found. Well, we can all make our guesses why that is. He's quite famous. We love showing him here in Deep Space, actually. He had probably had no idea that this picture was taken, which is another issue with facial recognition training data. Oftentimes, we are not aware that our pictures are used or even taken. But it could also help, for example, find people. Maybe he's lost up there, doesn't look like it, but just in case someone is missing on a mountain range, detection like this could actually make recovery much, much easier. It's just one idea how this technology can be used in connection with AI systems and facial recognition, or generally how to discover little details that are almost too small for us to recognize with our bare eyes. And with this technology, we can do even more. I talked about facial recognition, and we can take that to the extreme with the next piece I want to show you. A very brave young lady, there she is. Her name is Carla Boschun, and she is the daughter of the artist who took this picture, Daniel Boschun. And he thought his work was more artistic than scientific, but it can go both ways, I would say. He titled it Facial Landscaping, what he does with his pictures. And that's might not sound that impressive, and it looks like a normal portrait, but it's like the Mont Blanc picture more than it seems. So this was taken using, again, a high-resolution camera, and we can actually zoom in on every little detail this young woman lets us see in her face. So for example, we see lots of different individual hairs, every little bit of skin that's not that perfect. So like I said, she's very brave. I don't think I would have dared to have a picture like this taken. We can zoom in, for example, also on her eyes and discover almost like a black hole similar to the universe trying to suck us in. And even the reflection of the light is present here in this picture. Every single hair can be seen. So now imagine training an AI to recognize faces and having thousands of such high-resolution images. Perfect, right? So with this technology, we could revolutionize the way AI can recognize our faces. The problem is sometimes we get blurred images, so it might still have a hard time. But the idea as such to make it easier for an AI to recognize faces with this technology is actually a good one, if it is used for the right purposes. Also said in this segment before. Right. So with this image, I want to move over more to the more scientific research that has been conducted with the help of AI. So moving away from single people now to actually one of the great mysteries of our time, or not just of our time, but of the last century, you could almost say. One of my favorite pieces of history, the so-called Voynich manuscript. It's a medieval manuscript which we don't know that much about. We don't even know who wrote it. We don't know what language it is in. We don't know the pictures. We don't know the plans. So it's all really mysterious, and it has mesmerized and fascinated researchers, cryptologists over the centuries. We can zoom in on one of the images here. And that's also why it was photographed in high resolution in gigapixel photography to make it easier to decipher, to have a clearer picture, to make it, to discover, to uncover its secrets. No one has been able to do so far, not even the cryptologists from both world wars. It still is a mystery to everyone. There have been many guesses, but maybe with this new technology, we can find out something new, maybe the key to deciphering it. Especially because the original is not available. It's tightly kept, secure, of course. It's one very important piece of history. But with this, everyone can have access to it. Everyone can take a guess. Maybe you will be the one to decipher the Voynich manuscript one day. I even dreamt that once, that I was the one to decipher it. I was very fascinated by it. Yeah, that's one example of scientific use. As the last example, there's another one. Now we're moving on from Earth and the mysteries here to outer space, where gigapixel photography is also used in connection with artificial intelligence. So what we see here is a very barren landscape, which is not on Earth. This is actually Mars. And that's a Mars rover equipped with a high-resolution camera, photographing the terrain he's on. And those rovers are equipped with artificial intelligence to find their way around the surface. They have to move independently because it takes a while to get a signal from Earth. So if the rover is walking around and there's, for example, a cliff, and let's say in the ideal position, it takes up to 15 minutes to reach the signal from Earth to Mars or backwards, and the rover has not stopped before. So Artificial intelligence is necessary to tell him, okay, you should stop, wait until we analyze this picture, in this case a very high resolution picture, and then either go on, go back, turn around, whatever. So, Gigapixel and artificial intelligence can go hand in hand, as we see here. It's used for many different purposes, and I'm sure there will be many more coming up as this technology is developing even further and becomes more freely available. We just need lots of space, that's the problem. So gigapixels take up a lot of space to save the pictures, to analyze them, but it's definitely worth it for some cases. Just think of the Voynich Manuscript or the Mars rovers. And I'm curious to see what else will come up and how we as the people can use this technology to help us advance in various fields you can think of. Yeah, that's it for today for Deep Space in English. Thank you for tuning in and have a great afternoon. Goodbye.